More civilian casualties to report following a Russian missile attacks overnight. At least 3 lives lost in southern city of Odessa and another 3 killed in the eastern Donetsk region. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian military is claiming further territorial gains in Zaporizhia. And that's where we find our Fred Pleitgen. Fred, I believe you've been spending time with some of the troops on the front line. How are they doing and how's morale?
Hi there, Julia. Well, it certainly is going for the Ukrainians. They are saying that they are making territorial gains on some places in the front line, specifically the area where we were, where they say that they managed to take back a couple of villages there. But they also say that the going is extremely tough. They're able to move forward, but the Russians are putting up massive and very stiff resistance using artillery and using combat jets as well. Here's what we witnessed.
Ukrainian forces firing at Russian troops holed up in Blagodatnya in South Ukraine. This video, the brigade says, shows the Russians making a final stand here.
This is the area of Ukraine where the heaviest fighting is currently taking place, and you can see what it's done to a lot of the buildings in the cities and villages around this area. And that fighting is set to get even worse.
We're with the 68th Jaeger Brigade, which has been making important gains here. The soldiers confident and grateful for U.S. supply gear. A lot of the times it saved my life, he says. It saves our lives every day from shrapnel, shelling, and bullets. But some of the vehicles have already been lost, and the Russians continue to fire back. Constant artillery shelling and even airstrikes too close for comfort as our crew had to duck for cover. Still, the deputy brigade commander says his soldiers are just getting started. Our counterattack will definitely be successful, he says. We believe in victory. We are moving forward towards our goal. We are advancing. On this part of the front line, the Ukrainians believe they have the gear, the manpower, and the determination to advance far into Russian-held territory.
So as you can see, Julia, some pretty tough battles that are going on there on that southern front in southeastern Ukraine. And of course, we were only on one small part of that front. It really is several hundred miles long. And there are areas, of course, where the going is even tougher for the Ukrainians. Where late last week, the Russians claimed to have shot down a lot of Western-supplied armor. They're also putting out some videos. So the going is definitely tough for the Ukrainians, but what really stood out to us, Julia, was the fact that morale was very high among those Ukrainian soldiers, especially after they've been able to make those initial gains. And those gains are very important. They go pretty deep into the territory that has been held by the Russians. But I think that the Ukrainians also very much understand that the going is only going to get tougher from here on. The Russians have very strong layered defenses in the hinterland. Those go on for a very large part or for a very long distance. And the Ukrainians know that the Russians have some pretty tough soldiers down there on the ground as well. So nobody expecting that this offensive is going to be quick, that it's going to be short, or that it's going to be easy. In fact, the Ukrainians say they understand, if anything, things are going to be long and things are going to get even tougher than they already are, Julia.